Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is the 27th February 2024. In this video, let us generate bullish and bearish trade setups for monthly income trade and weekly income trade. Even before that, a small announcement please. If this is your first visit to our channel, please understand we are providing complete training on supply demand zone price action. This is a free training and all the training lessons we kept in a playlist, Supply Demand Zone Price Action course at our YouTube channel. I have also provided the link to this playlist in this YouTube video description. If you click the link, you will get into this page and then scroll down to the bottom of this page. Here, starting from lesson 1.1, all the training videos are available in an order. So please go through all these lessons one by one and strengthen your skills. I have also provided the link to our Telegram channel in this YouTube video description. Please join there. It will be useful to you. Each time when we release a new video, we will provide an update in the channel. Now let us get into report generation. We will be generating 4 reports. One is a bullish trade setup for monthly and bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. And third one is a bullish trade setup for weekly income trade, and fourth one is a bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Let us generate a bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. In monthly income trade, LTF zone is daily, so that means entry time frame is daily. Because it is bullish trade setup, our entry zone should be demand zone. And in bullish or bearish trade setup parameter at a daily time frame, let us set the value bullish. Because at present market is near all-time high, majority of the stocks are currently supporting bullish trade setup. But we will avoid a few unwanted zones based on certain conditions. The first condition is we don't want pierced zones. That's why pierced count I am setting 0 on daily time frame. Pierced count should be 0. That means zone is not pierced. This is one parameter. And the second parameter is between daily demand zone and daily supply zone, at least 3% reward should be there. Minimum 3%. Maximum could be anything. So for that, we have a parameter called minimum range. That is nothing but reward, minimum reward. On daily time frame, I am setting the value 3. Even after setting 3% reward, probably you may get 60 or 70 plus stocks. So it's impossible to analyze all those stocks. That's why what we do, let us try to find the stocks very near to the demand zone. At least 1% near to the demand zone. If any stocks are there, tomorrow we might get an entry. That way we will generate 3 reports. One is 1% near to the demand zone. Second report 2% near to the demand zone. And third one is 3% near to the demand zone. First, let us look for the very closest, that is very near to the demand zone, that is 1%. So for that we have a parameter, the last parameter in this page, maximum price percent to reach the zone. There at a daily time frame, I am setting the value 1. 1 indicates 1%. The maximum price percent from the demand zone to the current price should be 1%, within 1%. So that way we got 3 stocks which are near 1% near to the demand zone. One is Manapuram, PFC and TVS Motor. But all these zones are not traveling towards the demand zone. They are traveling towards either supply zone or all-time high. Excuse me. So you see here, the price signal type indicates lower time frame, that is a daily price direction. Daily prices are moving towards the demand zone or moving towards the all-time high. Sometimes you know what happens, depending on tomorrow's market condition, there is a possibility that for temporarily this direction will be changed and prices get into the demand zone and it will give an entry. That way we should not miss these zones. But remember, some of these zones are already tested. And we have one high liquidity zone is also there, already tested 3 times, because some of you are wants to trade only in fresh zones. But anyway, here we don't have sufficient stocks. That's why what we do, we will go back to the strategy builder, and here let us change 1% to 2%. That means we are going to filter the stocks at least 2% near to the demand zone, daily demand zone. Now 11 stocks are filtered. That means if tomorrow's price go down by 2%, we may get entry in one of these stocks. And a few stocks here are moving towards the demand zone. NMDC is moving towards the demand zone. This is a high liquidity demand zone, already tested once. High liquidity zone supports multi-testing. And Hero Motor Corporation is supporting, and now it is near to the demand zone. The prices came near to the high liquidity. It's not high liquidity, it is normal demand zone only, but it is a fresh zone. This is at least 2% near to the demand zone. And remaining stocks are either moving to the all-time high or supply zone. If any of these stocks change the direction and give an entry, you can plan a trade tomorrow. And last report in this bullish trade setup for monthly income trade, in the last report, let us set the value 3%, within 3% to the daily demand zone. Maximum price percent to reach the zone. In daily time frame, I am setting the value 3. Now 17 stocks are filtered. I think this is good enough for you to analyze these stocks and plan your trades. Now let us generate bearish trade setups. See, if you want to study any of these stocks, please pause the video and study. I am giving you only few seconds time. Once you complete your study, you can proceed with the video. Now let me generate bearish trade setup. In bearish trade setup, for monthly income trade, entry time frame should be daily, but entry zone should be supply zone. And in bullish or bearish trade setup parameter at daily time frame, now I am selecting the value bearish. You don't require to set any filters because the list for bearish trade setup is very small. But the only thing is we don't want pierced zones. We never trade on the pierced zones. So I am setting pierced count 0. Then without any other filters, let me filter the stocks. Only one stock is there. Currently moving towards the supply zone. And it is a fresh zone. So this is about bullish and bearish trade setups for monthly income trade. Now let us generate bullish and bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. In weekly income trade, entry time frame should be 75 minutes because we take our trade at 75 minutes, and the entry zone should be demand zone because in weekly income trade, first we will generate bullish trade setup. So demand zone and bullish or bearish trade setup. This time we are selecting 75 minutes. In 75 minutes, we are selecting bullish, but we will set the other parameters like we don't want pierced zones. So I am setting the pierced count 0 in 75 minutes zones, 0, 0. And because this is weekly income trade, at least between demand and supply zones or between demand zone and all-time high, at least a minimum 2% reward let us look for. The stocks having minimum 2% reward. For that, the parameter minimum range. Minimum range is nothing but a reward. At 75 minutes, I am setting the value 2%. And here we will generate 2 reports. One is stocks near to the demand zone, 1% near and 2% near. If sufficient number is not there, then we will go for 3%. Otherwise, we will limit to 2%. So that's why maximum price percent to reach the zone at 75 minutes. The first report, let us check 1%. That means stocks near 1% to the demand zone. 75 minutes demand zone. No stocks are there currently. So obviously we have to increase the percent to 2%. Maximum price percent to reach the zone. So I'm setting the value 2% now. Let us check. Now also no stocks. Let me check all our parameters are proper. Entry zone is demand zone. Bullish or bearish trade setup. In 75 minutes we have selected bullish, good. And the range should be at 75 minutes, 2% range we are looking. And max price percent to reach the 75 minute zone should be less than 2%, all conditions. That means within 2% also no stocks are available. So we will set the 3% level, maximum price percent to reach the zone. Let us set the value 3. No stocks, even 3% also. Surprised. So entry time should be 75 minutes. Yes, entry zone is demand zone. Bullish or bearish trade setup. 75 minutes should be bullish. And the range 75 minutes, we have selected 2%. The range means reward. Max price percent to reach the zone 75 minutes should be less than 3%. Right? No stocks even near 3% to the 75 minutes demand zone. And we will check whether any stocks near 4% to the demand zone. Maximum price percent to reach the zone. No stocks. Something strange. What I do, I will remove all these filters. Once again, let me, something wrong, that is what I am feeling. In general, you have to find stocks. So I'm doing once again, setting the parameters 75 minutes. And the entry zone should be demand zone. And in bullish or bearish trade setup, at 75 minutes, I am selecting bullish. Don't want pierced zones. So setting pierced count at 75 minutes, setting the value 0. And we want a minimum range should be, minimum range percentage should be at 75 minutes, 2%. Now near we will search later. First let us check how many stocks are supporting. We got a very big list. All these are all having a minimum reward for demand zones is at about 2%. So total 31 stocks are filtered. From these 31 stocks, are they not near? So anyway, let us filter. Now what we do, from this list, maximum price percent to reach the zone, let me check the value, set the value 1, minimum 1% range. So one stock is filtered. What the wrong happened earlier? I don't know. Okay. Anyway, we have within 1% to the demand zone. We have one stock granules. Currently, it is moving towards the demand zone. From all-time high, it is moving towards the demand zone. Good. So this is within 1% close to the demand zone. Tomorrow, if we get an entry, we can plan a trade in this. But remember, already this stock has given a rejection into the zone. It is not a fresh zone, but rejection is a good thing. Rejection indicates there is a strong order flow. But only thing you need to check quality of the zone. What is the quality of the zone? How do you check? By fine-tuning the zone. You know, you already learned the technique in lesson 16. So inside 75, look for 15 minutes. Inside 15 minutes, look for fresh 5-minute zone. That way you can give guarantee to that particular zone. Okay, let me go back. Now we will increase to 2%. Within 2% near to the zone. The maximum price percent at 75 minutes, I am setting the value to. Now 11 stocks are there within 2%. So good number of stocks. Apollo Tyres is moving towards the demand zone. Bosch moving towards the demand zone. Granules moving towards the demand zone. ICICI Prudential moving towards the demand zone. Apart from some stocks moving towards the supply zone. So maybe this number is good enough for you to plan your trades. 11 stocks are there from this list. If the stock price is down by 2% tomorrow, probably you will get an entry in the zone. So this is about a bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Now let us generate bearish trade setup. For weekly income trade, bearish trade setup, I am selecting the entry time frame is 75 minutes. Now entry zone should be supply zone. And in bullish or bearish trade setup, at 75 minutes, we are selecting bearish. Only one filter we will set, that is we don't want pierced zones. So pierced count at 75 minutes time frame, setting the value 0. 0, 0, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means pierced count should be 0. Pierced count 0 indicates the zone is not pierced. And to whom we set that pierced count? Supply zone we set. Check all these supply zones. They have a count 0. So 5 stocks are filtered. Demand zone can be pierced, no issues. Demand zone is only a target zone. If they are pierced zone means mostly easily the prices go beyond that zone. We may get even more better target. And if the reward is not good, you can eliminate from your list. Check the stocks having good reward. So this is about a bullish and bearish trade setup for monthly income trade and weekly income trade. Hope this information will be useful for our further study and analysis. So let's all meet again in our next video. Thank you.